On a cold December night in 2019, the YouTuber PewDiePie and his wife Marcia's home was reportedly broken into and robbed. At this point in time, PewDiePie had garnered a lot of controversy. In 2017, 2 years prior, PewDiePie had been involved with two massive dramas, such as one involving paying two men to hold up a sign with an anti-Semitic message, and the infamous PUBG bridge incident. But it was in 2019 where things escalated to a horrible extreme. This year, PewDiePie was fighting with the massive YouTube channel T-Mobile on who could reach the most subscribers. As such, subscribe to PewDiePie became sort of a meme in its own right. On March 15th, a lone white supremacist entered and shot at two separate mosques, unaliving 51 people in the process, and had before that exclaimed, "Subscribe to PewDiePie." All of these things had helped bring PewDiePie into a bad light, and massive publication companies such as the New York Times would even go on to make hit pieces on the Swedish YouTuber. It was perhaps due to this negative opinion about PewDiePie that the webcomic artist known as Mallory Jessica Odysseus, better known as SweetBeans99, published a webcomic the same week of their character that is believed to be a self-insert, openly mocking a quote-unquote millionaire gamer bro douchebag for getting robbed, obviously referring to PewDiePie. Honestly, this was but one of the many comments at the time who enjoyed taking pot shots at PewDiePie, but what made this strip so unique was the bastion of love and compassion that featured within the comic, the new guy. In the comic, SweetBeans' character seems to revel in the misfortune of the millionaire gamer bro, much to the confusion of the new employee whose only name is New Guy. When the new guy asks the girl how she would like it if she was robbed, instead of answering the question, she would go on to explain how the two of them would not become good friends in a passive-aggressive way. It was this complete dismissal of considering a very valid point of view and even the acknowledgement that other people could have such a view in the first place and then disregarding it that got the internet in a frenzy. On the 1st of January, the YouTuber OniNG posted the comic on Twitter, writing, "I wanted to start my year good, but this was the first thing I saw today." And the post would go on to garner a lot of attention, especially from other artists, who would go on to make edits of the original comic. Some edits included the purple-haired girl taking the opinion of the new guy to heart. Others would depict the two of them becoming good friends and even lovers. But mostly, New Guy started getting heralded as a hero, one who would spread kindness and love. It was played up to a comedic extreme, with the New Guy basically being the second coming of Christ. Some would even use the character New Guy to tell people not to attack SweetBeans for the comic and instead focus on being kind. Of course, that didn't happen. It didn't help that on Twitter, SweetBeans was being very vocal about the reception, going as far as to tweet, "Wow, my mentions are. I guess having a bunch of call me ugly and horrible for the next few days is gonna be a thing." SweetBeans would then later go on to private their account. This just spurred the negativity on, and as a result, people started dogpiling on SweetBeans. It didn't help that only a couple of months later, SweetBeans would go on to publish a comic in which a struggling artist would go in and steal art supplies. Perhaps due to the already negative public view of SweetBeans, people were quick to claim they endorsed the stealing from big chains. This was especially spurred on by them having already depicted one of her characters reveling in the misfortune of a rich person. So even more people started dogpiling on SweetBeans. Even PewDiePie would react to the comic with,
The thing is, like, so this is the person that made the webcomic, and this person is trying to vilify New Guy, but that person is so tone deaf, they didn't understand that they make themselves look like an idiot. It's so weird. What's the word for it? It's so unself-aware. I don't know anything about this person who wrote this webcomic, and I really highly don't want anyone to seek out this person or anything like that. I think it's more, the point here is that to react in a way that is so, I don't want to boo-hoo me or whatever. I'm looking at this outside of my own context. But the fact that, you know, people who react in this way about something unjust happening to someone, to me is, you know, it's not normal. I feel like it's not normal behavior to react this way. I think a lot of times when people project anger on the internet or towards other people, it sounds like they're probably dealing with something their own and they're just lashing out on other things.
There were, however, people who were on the other side of the fence and claimed that the dogpiling on Sweet Beans came as a result of bigotry, as Sweet Beans is a non-binary gay artist. Multiple LGBTQ+ publications even ran stories about the whole thing, coming to Sweet Beans' aid, in which they would decry the public's reaction to the comic, with little to no admittance to their own fault in the matter. Even today, they will post stuff that makes it sound like they think the reason for people dogpiling on them was because of their follower count, and not because of what they depicted in their comic. Today, Sweet Beans are continuing to draw comics and are improving their art at a great pace. While I do not condone anyone threatening or attacking them in the first place, it's unfortunately not hard to see why it happened. Some people reacted because of their parasocial relationship with PewDiePie, while others reacted due to feeling Sweet Beans promoted misfortune onto other people, while mockingly dismissing the counter-argument. While some people might feel like Sweet Beans could have used this as a learning experience, instead of chalking it all up as blind rage from rabid fanboys, I still wish Sweet Beans the best going forward. It's nice to see that even after having to delete their original Twitter account due to backlash, they're still making art and comics. And here's to hoping people take new guys' advice and actually treat them with respect and kindness, so they can leave this piece of webcomic history in the past. Thank you for watching. If you guys have any webcomic stories you want me to cover, leave them in the comments below. I'll see you next time. Take care.